Alright, this is Never Chained, where we are confined by nothing and limitless beyond measure. You know what I'm saying? So today, I'm going to let my brothers introduce ourselves, but we will be speaking on poor mindset. We will also be talking about a growth mindset and a rich mindset. So, yes, sir.
Yo, what's up? What's up? This is Von the Source. You feel me? I'm here, doing my thing with the game. Never change. Confined by nothing.
Yeah. He might have the best intro right now. Alright, a lot of people know me by Lou. You can follow me on Instagram at Lou_the Source. Yo, thank you guys for having me here on Never Change with you, man. I've been looking to collab and work with these brilliant people, my brothers. Man, Never Change, what it means to me is we are confined by nothing. Our minds are limitless. The human potential is immeasurable. And when we realize how powerful we truly are, elevation is endless.
You know what I'm saying?
Limitless,
limitless beyond measure. Ain't nothing we can't achieve. You know what I'm saying? So I want to get into the poor mindset, and it's a lot of poor mindset in the black community, for the fact being we're arrogant and we don't want to develop ourselves and grow ourselves. So Vaughn, can you touch up on that, my brother?
Yeah. So with the mindset, we want to get into speaking as far as what does it mean to have a poor mindset. So for me personally, a poor mindset to me is being stagnant, is being confined in a way where you're doing the things that you're used to, and when new information come your way, you don't want to take it in because you're comfortable with what you already got going on. So someone's presenting an opportunity that you might potentially grow from and you might benefit from, but because you're so used to what you've already been doing, you wouldn't even give it a chance. And I feel like if you're not willing to change for your better, then that becomes a poor mindset, because you could always be further. You could always tap into your higher self and get to the new levels. Mm-hmm. How do you feel about that mindset, Lou?
Nah, I agree with you 100%. And to add to that, there's a saying that if you put a snake in a small cage, it'll only grow to the size of the cage. So with that being said, we get limited. We're naturally a product of our environment. So your level of exposure can determine how far you can go. And I feel like a lot of people kind of trap ourselves in a box, and that ends up keeping us in that poor mindset.
Listen, this is why we're confined by nothing. But I do want to touch upon how it's a knowledge thing, right? And we have a lot of knowledge in this world. So it really is being arrogant and not taking the right course of action. So a lot of poor people, they would prioritize smoking, eating a lot. They don't prioritize having a rich mindset, whereas in a rich person, they could be frugal. That's one way. They can establish more income, passive income, active income. But with a poor mindset, you'll be comfortable and stagnant, as my brother said. So when you're stagnant and comfortable, you're moving backwards. You're losing. So and as inflation hits, you just going downhill from there. The poor mindset will keep you poor, and it's the poor mindset that keeps people down in the slums and everything. They don't wanna grow. And it truly is a mindset thing. It's nothing that you can't achieve in this world. It's a fact, 100%.
That's a fact. And I want to tell you guys a little story, man. So you guys know me. I used to work at TGI Fridays, doing doubles, and then I picked up a job at Panera Breads. Then I picked up a job at Boha, so I was doing 3 jobs at a time. And my mindset, at the time, I felt like I was doing something, but I was operating at the lowest level, and I had a poor man mindset, because no matter how much time I was working, making this money, my bank account stayed the same, and I wasn't even leveling up as I wanted to, but I was draining myself. I was putting that wear and tear on my body, and to the point where, an opportunity came my way, but I took it with a grain of salt when I met this man, Francis, at Panera Bread, and he told me about this opportunity with Kivana. It was a multi-level company at the time, and they needed entrepreneurs, and they needed self-employed people to really put in the work and get the word out to self-health and wellness products. So once Francis brought this opportunity to me, I said, I need to make more money, but I'm working 3 jobs. He was like, if you change your mindset, you won't need to work 3 jobs. You could just do this.
What's that? Work smarter, not harder.
Yeah, he showed you that light.
That's what he said. And I, I took the information with a grain of salt, and I'm happy that I followed his lead and I listened to what he was saying, because once I basically tapped into that mindset, I started to see the bigger picture, because now it's like, you don't have to do this. You could become this individual that can make money without, having to put in your time. Mm-hmm. And I felt like that mindset shift is what made me the man I am today.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I love that story, man.
What I could add to that was, I really like that experience you went to, because one thing that helped me, get out of that poor man mindset was going out and learning new things. So that basically was kind of like a mentor that you had in the moment. So like something that helped me was, like you said, working a job. I was kind of traditional where I just wanted to work a lot of hours, get my overtime in, and save money, and eventually try to invest. But got a mentor, and I learned how I can build my credit up to a certain level, and then I can apply for funding. And instead of waiting, typical 3, 4, 5 years to get a down payment for a property, you can leverage the credit and purchase assets a lot more effectively. And that took me getting out of my comfort zone and getting a mentor. So like that really just reminded me
that's powerful, man.
Yeah.
Hey Jerry, man, talk to the people, man.
Talk to them.
I mean, were you ever in a time where your mindset was not where it's at right now, and you maybe able to identify it as a poor man mindset?
Most definitely. I wouldn't say that I was like a splurger or a spender, but the reason I had a poor mindset was I had one source of income and I wasn't making much money. So although I wasn't splurging or spending money as, someone my age would, I wasn't making enough money. So the money was just circulating nowhere. I wasn't able to save. I wasn't able to invest. And one thing that helped me, right? Because I had talked about in the previous video that I had got my realtor's license, but I wasn't too serious on that. One thing that inspired me and helped me was my brother Vaughn, and he invested in me before I invested in myself, 100%. And that's what really sparked me, because I'm like, yo, my brother, he really invested in me. Like he like, yo, he got something. Like he got something in there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So before I even invested in myself, this guy invested in me, and then that's when everything started to roll. And then my mindset shifted. I don't know when it shifted, but it shifted. Then I'm like, oh, I gotta be doing more. I thought I was doing more because when you're surrounded by your peers, you're like, I say I'm kind of doing all right.
Yeah.
But then when I'm around y'all, as I was the past year or two, I'm like, dang, I'm a little man.
Yeah, the level of exposure.
I'm a little man.
The level of exposure, you got into an environment with people that was doing a lot more and let you see like there's so much more opportunities out there.
Yeah, and not only that, when me and June had went to Miami, that was an eye opener because we had went to Him 500. It was the recession-proof meeting, and there was a lot of millionaires. When I tell you a lot of millionaires, me and June just sitting watching, and Floyd came up, Rick Ross came up, Alex Good Energy was there, Him 500 was there. It was just like, wow. You see all these millionaires, you just watching them like they black too. Mm-hmm. They got up there. So after that experience, and mind you, we went out there for free, credit. We got out there for
your credit. Yeah.
Stay tuned
free
for
flights.
Stay tuned for that, guys.
Yeah, so we got out there for free, and it was just a nice experience. So now when I came back to Jersey, I'm like, damn, I gotta get to the bag. I gotta start working more. I gotta move. Stagnant, man. So that was a really eye opener for me, and then I think it's really stepping out of your environment and looking for new opportunities. Like when we stay in a city in a spot, you can't really see the outside. You can't really see what other people are doing unless you're on social media. But on social media, you start to compare yourself. But stepping out of there, you get to see a new light. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, a little bit more about the story about Francis that took me in with Kivana. So he took me to Connecticut, and that changed my level of exposure because I was around people that talked about money differently. Coming from where I came from, people didn't talk about money. If anything, it was when the bills due. right? So, you know, when it was rent or whatever the case may be, or what I had to pay for. So I got in the room, it was a conference, and these people were talking about money as if it was something so simple that was the least of their worries. And I was like, oh yeah, I just made $10,000 this week. Oh yeah, this such and such, he's a 6-figure earner. Yeah, he makes $20,000. I'm like, wow. I'm making $1,000 working 40 hours a week, right? So it was just being around people like that. That was, you know, they didn't see money as an obstacle. When I used to think, wow, how can someone get this money? Like, how can you know, doing everything right, how can you make a lot of money? And these people were making a lot of money, and they had other problems, and their mindset was like, I need to work on myself. I need to add a trade or a new skill set to myself. I'm not worried about making this money because I already got something. I already got something passive. I solidified something, and now I'm trying to really live life and find the abundance that life have to offer. And I never knew that, so I was exposed to people talking like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A lot of good points there.
Oh man.
Thanks, man.
I actually want to speak a little bit about like when I had a poor man mindset. So, you know, I come from Jersey, a small town called Orange. So I felt like there was a lot of things that I wasn't exposed to. So when I started working, I had my first job. I remember I was working at Fridays as a server, and I became a bartender eventually. But my mindset, you know, as a server or bartender, you make tips. So you get cash every day. And I'm making $200, $250 some days, $180 here. And my mindset at the time was, if when I go out, I'll spend money, buy drinks for my friends and stuff, buy clothes, go out, party. You know, I was young and dumb at the time. And I used to always think, you know, tomorrow I could just go in and make $200 again. So it wouldn't hurt for me to just spend some money real quick tonight. But then eventually you get caught in what I like to call the rat race, as, you know, certain things that you just can't predict comes up, expenses that you got to pay, and now you're splurging money every day. You're not saving anything for a rainy day. Now you get caught up and you're behind, and now you're trying to play catch up, and before you know it, you lose your job. What then now? So one thing that helped push me was like I realized I was the most disciplined whenever I wanted something. So at the time, like I had car troubles, I needed to upgrade my car, and you know I'm the type, like when I want something, I get a little obsessed. I'm watching YouTube videos about the car, Facebook Marketplace, whatever it is, and I realized like whenever I had a goal, that's when I would save my money and be more cautious and really think about what I'm doing in and day out. And to say that, I say, you know, us as people, we need a vision. You know, when you have a vision and you set goals, that helps you become more disciplined, because now you know these are the steps I need to take to hit that goal to get to my vision.
Yeah, and the thing is, a lot of people are in 9 to 5. They work jobs, right? So you can still have a rich mindset while still working a job. And during this process of you in a 9 to 5, you have to understand what you will do with that money. So before, when I was working Panera, and I'm like, bro, I hate this job, But Vaughn, like, bro, it's a stepping stone. But at the time, I couldn't see it. I couldn't see it as, oh, this is just temporary. I just gotta use my time and work through it. But use your 9 to 5 as a stepping stone to what you really want. So now you get to save the little money that you have to invest. Or you can now use your job as a stepping stone to get an FHA loan. So there's different things you can do with the job that can, you know, elevate you further. So
I like that.
Yeah.
You touched up on some good points about having a rich mindset, working 9 to 5. So, you know, the poor man mindset, you say what? Inability to learn. You said stagnant. What else was
comfortable?
Being comfortable in your situation. So I like that you pointed that out, because we can use our 9 to 5 and change our mind. And basically, you know, we're in a world of entrepreneurship now. So we can purchase assets like, you know, nowadays, before cars was liabilities, that can be an asset now.
Yeah.
And now you can work and use that money and invest in a course or a mentor, get your credit right, and get some, you know, assets like rentals, Airbnb, some real estate. Now you got some extra income while you're working 9 to 5, and that just gives you something to look forward to when you clocking in at work.
Yeah, facts.
Man, that's beautiful, man. Listen, guys, you guys all brought up some good points, man. And I want, we on the poor mindset topic, and I want to pivot a little bit, and I want you guys to give the viewers, what are some strong mindset qualities that you think that the viewers need to know, and how to identify these strong mindset that they can develop.
I touch base on that first. So a strong mindset, to me, you have to have discipline. That's key. You have to have discipline. You have to be consistent. And not only that, you have to have a vision for your future. So you have to see what your millionaire self would look like, what your better self would look like. This is a strong mindset. So now you instill the traits of that person in you to move forward. So that goes into having a growth mindset. The reason why a growth mindset is a strong mindset is because you're always looking to elevate. You're looking at different perspectives to grow. So then you become stronger. Each day you're looking to grow. You have a strong mindset, and so now you're moving with discipline, consistency. You're persistent. There's nothing stopping you. So this is very important in having a strong mindset, and you can't. It's all within yourself. So I talk about this a lot in my Never Change YouTube, and being within yourself and having that self-love, that self-confidence.
Yeah, all the points.
That's gonna really get you far, bro. Like being within yourself, that will give you the strongest mindset you will need. So
wow, that's beautiful, man.
Yeah,
Lou, anything you want?
I can add, like he said, I just want to add a little more, like knowing yourself. So when you know yourself and what you want to be, what some of your goals and having that vision, that helps you have a strong mindset. And just to continue on with that, I told you guys inability to learn. So basically, being more proactive and willing to learn is actually a strong mindset, because the world is constantly changing and evolving. Technology, we got AIs now, Web3, NFTs, just keeping in tune and constantly educating yourself, studying your competition, and staying ahead of the game. That's a strong mindset. That's a rich mindset, because the more you know, the better you can execute, the better position you can place yourself in, and the better decisions you can make on the spot, because you're more educated. So that's just one of the things that I try to apply daily in myself.
Yeah, man, that's beautiful. So for me, with the strong mindset, I feel like my mindset is developed by my habits and the way I tend to think positive in the face of adversity. So one, I try to create my days with habits that are gonna enhance myself moving forward. And in face of adversity, I use positive thinking to get through it. So life is gonna happen and life is gonna challenge you. When a situation comes up, my mindset is, how can I get out of it?
Oh, I like that.
Right. So I feel like that positive thought is what's gonna keep me moving forward, because we can sit around and complain, we could bitch, we could moan, but the minute I come up with a solution, I'm ready to go.
Yeah. So
I'm taking this situation at face value now. It's like, it happened. Whatever they did to me, they did to me. But how can I move on? How can I be better? How can I strengthen myself?
Wow.
And tap into my inner self.
Yeah.
And I feel like with the positive thoughts, that's where my strong mindset comes from.
Yeah, I like that. I want to add. He was speaking right here, man. You gave us some good, I like the way you did that, because your habits. So basically, like, you just made me think of, like, if you fail to prepare, you're preparing to fail. So we could wake up, everybody could feel like, I'm a strong guy. I got a strong mindset. And then when that wall hits you, you don't know what to do. So basically, what you're saying is, you basically you're training your mind. So when that adversity does come, you know what to do in that situation by filling your habits with positivity and stuff, and strengthening your mind. Now when it gets rough, your mind is well prepared.
Yeah,
so,
exactly. Well said.
I felt that. Now I felt that just now, man. Like, I just wanted to just throw a little more in there for the viewers.
Yeah, sometimes we gotta disconnect our emotional feelings and more so think on a logical standpoint. Be logical thinkers. Because when you're emotional, you're not really thinking. You're out of control. You tapping into too much of your feelings. So now you got to think of a solution. So this is something that you have to master. And the way you master it is you have to be in the experience. You have to be in the moment and test yourself so that you can grow constantly. Yeah.
That's true, man.
That's why he says never change or find by nothing.
Come
Even
find by
yourself.
nothing.
You don't want to be trapped within your own self, finding some inner battles. And I feel like you had something. You want to say something?
No. Yeah, it's just about being comfortable, man. It's something about being comfortable that just make me uncomfortable, man. So with my mindset, whenever things are going my way, things is moving along, I just get uncomfortable because I'm like, I could be doing more. Right? So the mindset is just it's challenging me now. It's like, yo, all right, you did what you said you was gonna do. You accomplished that, but it's like we could do more.
What now?
What now? Yeah, exactly.
Let's not waste potential.
Let's not waste potential and not waste time.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's also what a strong mindset consists of. Like being good with what you already accomplished, but telling yourself what's next. What we gotta do now. We set a milestone, we hit it. Like that one time I was doing the cryptocurrency and I invested in 2021 and I really hit big.
Yeah.
My account got to 200,000.
Yeah.
I was like, bet that was one of my goals. I've accomplished the goal.
Okay.
And we made a lot of money. So now it's like I was so fixated on that. I've reached that goal. My mindset was set. Now it's like, all right, you made a lot of money. That's cool. Now you got to tap into something else, right? Like how can I reinvest that? Right? Let me put some other people on.
Exactly.
Let me try to like take some profit and invest into the real world. We got into trucking because of that. Because now it was like I've reached the goal, saw the bigger picture, was able to invest into the real world, and now we have a trucking company.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So it's always like once you reach that mindset, it forces you to keep working and keep doing better. Because now it's like you know that you could keep doing better. You know you could reach new levels, new heights. And I feel like not being comfortable is a good thing.
Yeah. For a fact.
We'll only grow in uncomfortable situations, you know. Adversity is what helps you grow. Going through hard times is what makes you realize like who you really are. It toughens you up. So I like that, man. That mindset that you have. That's a very strong mindset. That's a rich man's mindset.
Yeah.
You get too comfortable. You make sure you get out. You know, you put yourself out your comfort zone and continuously challenge yourself. That's good.
Yeah, and a good way to really challenge yourself and test yourself is to do mental challenges like cold showers, or if you wanted to do something that was very challenging that made you uncomfortable. Like say if you wanted to run 3 miles, you couldn't run 3 miles, but you got to do this in 3 months. Now you have to work towards it, but you're testing yourself. So now you have to work towards that and trust yourself to get to that point. So now it's just a movement thing. Now you can't be staying still. You got to be on the move. So
that's right. So I know you guys are all entrepreneurs here. You know, you got the trucking company. You know, you got the real estate. You got the clothing brand. Help some of our entrepreneurs that's just starting out, you know, understand what it's like to transition from a 9 to 5 to an entrepreneur and still maintain a strong mindset.
So a lot of key points that you said is, you know, building strong habits. You know, once you go from a 9 to 5 worker where things are kind of, you walk into work, you kind of know your tasks, what to do, everything's kind of just laid out for you. Now when you walk into this world of entrepreneurship, everything's on you now. So, you know, we have this trucking company together, and coming from being a driver for Pepsi, that's where I used to work at, and driving on my own when we first started our trucking company, it's a whole different ballgame, because if you have any breakdowns in your truck, you're responsible as the owner. You know, before at Pepsi, I could just take it to fleet, drop it off, leave a note, and they take care of the issue. So if you're not, you know, smart, what we did to help us in our position was, in our truck company, we made sure we had enough funding. So after we purchased our truck, we had some reserve left over. So whenever we hit any walls, any maintenance issues, we can use the credit to fix any repairs in the moment, not waste time. And because we know trucking is a high cash flow industry, we know we can pay that back very easily. So when you use credit properly, we're not just swiping credit cards for the hell of it now, but when you use it properly on an asset that's generating cash flow, it keeps you moving. So it just, you know, preparing yourself before situations appear.
Yeah, and I want to touch upon, like, right now I'm still a 9 to 5 worker. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a 9 to 5 worker, and I got the Airbnb, got the clothing brand, I got the YouTube, and my 9 to 5 don't stop me from moving. It don't stop me at all.
Take notes, people.
Yeah. So what I did was, while I'm working this 9 to 5, so I actually chose a job that helps me and benefits me in a way where it's not taking too much of my time. So because I'm young, I'm able to move on still a part-time position. So now I know that I have more time to work on my businesses. So when I started working out in the mornings, because I was working out in the evenings, 7 to 8, and I would only have 3-4 hours to work on myself and the things I wanted to do. Now that I work out in the 6 a.m., I go to work at 8. Now, after I get off, I have 8 hours to work on myself. I have 8 hours to work on my businesses. So now I'm managing my time effectively. And not only that, being that I'm a 9 to 5 worker working part-time, and that job is only paying for my bills. It's only paying for my bills. But what I did was I took my time to build my credit up, and my credit saved me. My credit built my foundation. With my credit, I was able to get my first Airbnb. With my credit, I was able to use the funding that I got for my clothing brand. You know what I'm saying? So with that credit funding, I was able to do all these plays that I wouldn't be able to do just working the part-time position. So now I use that credit as a elevator to elevate me forward, push me forward. And it's been great. And not only that, I used my credit again just recently, built it up to a 798, and I got 4 cars. 4 cars that I'm earning passive income from.
You got the rental cars and the Airbnb.
Yeah.
And the 9 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
That's a hustle right now.
Yeah.
And the clothing brand.
Yeah.
And we here on this podcast giving you guys some good gems and speaking on this never change mindset.
Yeah.
So as an entrepreneur, what were some obstacles that you faced and that your now found mindset helped you overcome?
I would say it would be myself. Okay. It would be developing myself, because before I started all of this, I was developing myself. I was growing to be that millionaire version. The quality traits I instilled into myself. So that solid discipline, that solid hard work, all of the traits of myself I was instilling to me. So whatever my 9 to 5 millionaire self was doing, I had to be that person. And not only that, I had plans for my vision. And the vision is important. The vision is so important. So what I did was I said I'm going to make $10K a month, and then I wrote down a list of everything and how much each is going to make. That's how I wrote everything each is going to make. So now when you plan out your vision, now you can see what you have to do. Then you line up your tasks. I put this in the execution course. I say course, class. But I put this in the execution class. So you line up your tasks to each source of income that you want to generate, so that you're more organized to move. But it all starts with self and developing the quality traits and habits that you need to be successful. It's a fact.
That's well said.
What you got for us?
So for me, the biggest transition from a 9 to 5 worker to an entrepreneur for me was time management. I think that when I was transitioned, there was no plan B, and I went all in. So I had a lot of free time. So being an entrepreneur, you pretty much create your own schedule, and sometimes tasks go unfinished. So I think that managing your time and actually setting these due dates in place was the biggest takeaway for me when I transitioned from a 9 to 5 to an entrepreneur. Like Lou said, becoming an entrepreneur, you're your own boss.
Yep.
And at some point, you have to self-motivate yourself.
Exactly.
But motivation can only get you so far. So you need to be disciplined and be able to, have these tough conversations with yourself and say, this is what we need to do. The vision is that, so this is what we need to do. So once I aligned the vision and the goals with myself, everything started to flow. And time management played a big part when I transitioned from a 9-to-5 to an entrepreneur.
I want to add some more things that help my transition. Also, is with our transportation business, having a business plan. So just knowing what are your short-term goals in the business, what are your long-term goals,
Right.
What's your market, what's your competition. Writing these things down step by step and what you're trying to achieve, it keeps you more motivated and it helps you to push yourself harder. Because 3 months go by and you set a short-term goal for yourself and you didn't hit quota, that's gonna push you to think more outside the box. Let me improvise. How can I attract more customers to myself? What do I need to do to be different? So like us having a business plan like we did helped us in the trucking industry and reaching out to the proper people to make more money and using different methods in the industry and adding on partnerships to make more money.
And the business plan, guys, always changes. Because market conditions are changing. People coming in and now you have different plays where you might have a driver, starts working for you for 2 weeks or a month and then has to bail out, stop working for you. So you have to make sure to be prepared for the storm and be able to navigate and adjust when things are changing. So I'm glad you brought that up because in the trucking industry, there's factors coming in and out and we have to make decisions right on the spot. And I feel like it helped us with our decision making.
Yeah, that helped me a lot. Yeah, you gotta be quick.
Because we can't dwell on the situation.
You can't.
And as an entrepreneur, you have to be able to adjust to change and you have to move quick and effectively. Because it has to make sense with the vision.
Exactly. Which is why when you have these goals set up, it makes you make the right decision. Because exactly. You make sure it aligns with what you set out for yourself.
Yeah. So the quote, man. And I heard this from Myron Golden, man. Myron Golden. If you're not seeing the output you want to see, change the input. If you ain't seeing what you want to see from the output, change the input. You know what I'm saying? So that concludes the podcast. You know what I'm saying? This is Never Change, where we are confined by nothing and limitless beyond measure. Yes, sir.
Never change. Confined by nothing.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yo, y'all stay safe out here.